Hi folks, Joe Natoli here, and I am with you today to talk to you about some of the concepts I explore in my new book on user experience strategy, which, as some of you know, is called Think First. What I want to talk to you specifically about over the next 6 videos is the fact that during the outset, in particular, of any project, okay, no matter what it is that you're doing, whether this is something new that you're designing and building from the ground up, brand new product, or it's an existing product where you're trying to incorporate new features and functions, you're trying to update it, upgrade it, you've got a new release coming out, you're trying to impress people all over again with different things. No matter what it is, okay, at just about every juncture, especially at the beginning, there are 3 questions that you sort of have to step back and ask that, to me, in my experience, are the key to whether the path that you go down actually delivers value or not. Okay? You do all this work, you do all this strategizing and designing and developing, and you hope that the end result benefits people so that it comes back and benefits you or your client or your organization in some way. Part of the key to doing this, and it's not an easy thing, but you want to get everybody to take sort of a step back. Okay? It's very easy to get wrapped up in day-to-day problems, okay? Especially when you have a feature and function list in front of you, okay? A laundry list of things that absolutely have to be done, and everyone's saying, well, it's got to be this, and it's got to look like this, and it's got to do this, etc., etc. So the first thing is to sort of understand where you're at in the grand scheme of what I would call UX maturity. All right, this is a term that's typically applied to organizations, right, to see how mature they are in terms of applying best practices in UX. But to me, this applies at a more micro level to every single project. Okay, I'll explain this concept real quickly before we get into the meat of this. Essentially, what it means is that there are sort of 3 levels of UX maturity, meaning that there are 3 levels of ways of operating where you're either sort of doing strategic work or you're just trying to plug holes. Okay, the first level of that is what's called operational. Okay, most organizations and most teams find themselves in this place. It means our heads are down, we're just trying to figure out like how to do all this stuff in the time we have to do it, right? Or we're solving development problems, or we're dealing with bugs. We thought this was going to work this way, but we implemented it, we did a quick prototype, and it's not working, and we only got a week left in the sprint, and the backlog is piling up. What are we going to do? Okay, that's operational. You're just sort of heads down going, all right? The next level up is tactical work, and what I mean by that is that at that sort of phase, you're solving business problems. Okay, you're focused on how does this benefit us as an organization if we roll this function out. Okay, if we change this feature, if we use this workflow instead of this workflow. Okay, you're also thinking about how it affects end users. Will people actually go through this process? Will they sign up? Will they download? Will they try? Whatever it happens to be. Okay, so you're a little more focused on business issues, user issues, but you're still very head down trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to do all this? The very highest level, and I'm oversimplifying this, okay? There are more levels to it than this, but I'm oversimplifying purposely. The highest level is strategic. That means no matter what you're doing, the minute somebody suggests that a feature or function should work in a certain way, or you have an idea about something that you could do or might do, that means strategic level of UX maturity means that you take a step back and say, should we do this in the first place? All right? Why are we doing this? What do we think is going to happen as a result? So in other words, instead of just charging ahead and saying, yeah, it's that, let's go, you take a step back and you say, wait a minute, is this really the right thing to spend our time on over the next week, 2 weeks, month, 6 months, whatever it is? Okay? That said, the 3 critical questions that I talk about extensively in the book, okay, and we dig into great detail in this, there are 3 things that, again, almost 30 years of experience now have taught me that these are the 3 critical things to ask, okay? I heard this way back when in a seminar I attended from Adaptive Path, and the speaker laid out these 3 things and my head exploded. I thought, that's it. I mean, that's the key to everything that we're doing. These 3 questions are like, the keys to the universe. So here they are. First and foremost, you have to ask, what's worth doing? Okay? What is worth our time, what is worth our effort, what is worth our resources, our budget, our blood, sweat, and tears, right? Whatever we're going to do over the next week, 2 weeks, month, right? Whether we're talking about sprints or entire life cycle of a project, is it worth our time? Meaning, what's it going to get us? Okay, what's going to happen as a result of doing this work, and is that outcome valuable to us? Okay. The second question is, what should we be creating? Right? What are we actually going to design or build? Is that the right thing? Does it solve the problem that we're trying to solve? And more importantly, does everybody on the team, including the stakeholders, agree on what we're designing or building? Does everybody have the same understanding, okay, of what's going to result? Is it apples to everybody or is it oranges to everybody? Okay, you want to know that. The very last thing is probably the most important question. Okay, and I allude to this all the time in terms of user experience. What value does it provide? Okay, what value goes out to users as a result of doing this? And then conversely, when they act, when they do the thing that we're expecting them to do, what value comes back to the business? Okay, are we making money? Are we saving money? Are we extending goodwill and getting more people to like us and talk about us and share our stuff, or more people to buy our products? What is it? Okay, what value goes out and what comes back in? All right, so those are the 3 critical questions. And again, over the next 6 videos, we're going to dive into each one of those and talk about them in detail. Okay, so that's it for this edition, but I want you to be on the lookout for the very next video where we will talk extensively about what's worth doing. In the meantime, I invite you to visit my website at getgoodux.com. You will find a host of articles, advice, downloadable tools and resources, things that I believe are going to be valuable to you in your UX practice, whether you are brand new, just starting out in this field, whether you're transitioning to a new career, or you are on the technical side of the house and you are tasked with incorporating better UX practices into everything you do. Okay, so check out the website. I think you'll find a lot of value there. Also, last but certainly not least, I invite you to check out the book itself, Think First. Think First is essentially my roadmap for creating great products that deliver value to people. The book is purposely written in a way that serves as a very simple, very easy to follow guidebook in very plain language. Okay? I think there's far too much out there about user experience in books and websites, in speeches and podcasts that kind of talks over people's heads, to be honest. And I think it's all unnecessary. I think the jargon is unnecessary. The big words that we use is completely unnecessary. All right? So my goal in writing this book was to simplify all that and communicate very clearly and give you practical things that you can apply the minute you read them. All right, so I hope you'll check out the book, and until next time, give good UX.